What up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the ACS Universe. It's Fire Fridays, the best way to start your weekend. I appreciate you being here like always. It's Friday night. If you are here watching right now, I appreciate you spending time in the ACS Universe. We got a great show for you guys. I'm going to talk about, I'll give my non-spoiler review for the newest James Bond film, No Time to Die. Talk about the Young Justice Phantoms announcement, and we're going to give our review of the first season of What If, man. Great season. You've heard us talk about every episode on a weekly basis, and now that the season is done, we're going to give a complete just feelings on the show and where we think it might go in the second season. Obviously, that depends on what the movies do that are coming out in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Also, as always, there is a link to AFSP in the description if you're in a giving mood. Always like to shout out the patrons of the channel. Appreciate you guys keeping the wheels rolling. Appreciate y'all. And so without further ado, we'll get into the show. But first, let's bring in the panelists real quick. Neil, what's good? Dawson, Phil, what's up, man?
Yo.
How y'all
what's
feeling?
going on?
Friday?
I was forced at gunpoint to be here.
Wow.
So.
Damn. I didn't pay you to write that.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Oh, you back out now, do you?
Hey, I just said it. I didn't pay.
What is going on here?
Yes. So yeah, but how's you guys Friday evening going?
Well,
It's Friday.
going swimmingly.
Swimmingly.
What up, DC Talk? What's good? Neil in the chat. Fire.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, I haven't been swimming in a long time.
Oh,
It's been a while.
Yeah,
It's getting colder.
Fiddle, what's up?
it's a little cold now. Yeah.
Getting a little bit probably too cold to swim. Well, I don't know about
Well,
where I
it
live.
was hot today over here in Jersey.
Yes.
It was, it was kind of whatever.
Well,
You know, a lot of that water
What's
gets cold. There's some threats of shrinkage. So
Yeah, there's this world's finest. Oh man. So,
feels like, pardon me.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
What?
Yeah. What?
What the hell?
The fire's version.
Yeah. Well, no, I gotta play it just because you said that. It's one of the first drops I got after starting to do live.
We started the fire.
Yes, the fire rises.
I love his response. He's just like, yeah, sure. You could think that.
Yeah.
The fire rises.
For sure. So real quick, like I said, I don't know if you guys, any James Bond fans out there, really talking about that type of that genre. There's like I think the three most popular franchises. I mean, it's obviously 007, but then you got like Mission Impossible, and to a certain extent, the Fast and the Furious. I think as much as I love James Bond, I would say that the Mission Impossible is probably my favorite. I've always thought that was like a mixture of James Bond.
Oh, definitely.
And the Fast and Furious, you know what I mean? Like that's what Mission Impossible did, was just take that, like the action could be over the top at times, but also it's more kind of grounded like James Bond. And obviously Fast and Furious is just it's just way
Utter
out
insanity.
there. Yeah, way out there. With that being said, I was able to catch, which was a shock to me, that like the movie theater that I go to that's closest was playing the movie at 4:00 yesterday. Normally those Thursday night premieres are at like 7. It was at like 4. I was like, sign me up. Because I thought I wasn't gonna get to see it until tomorrow, considering we had 4 nerds last night, but that shit was at 4. I was like, yeah, let's go. And the movie was fire. It's widely known this is Daniel Craig's last go around as James Bond 007. They give him a send-off that is absolutely perfect. When you guys see the movie, if whenever you do, you'll see that the way they send him off, it's really good, and it makes sense with the story. 2.5 hour movie didn't feel like it. Special effects, everything across the board was good. It was good. So I was very satisfied with it. If you guys haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend seeing No Time to Die. all the performances are fire, and Daniel Craig. That's James Bond, y'all. That's probably my favorite James Bond is Daniel Craig.
But how can you discount Sean Connery?
You know, I mean,
Was it left for more? Did they leave you with like we're continuing, or was that just to send off?
I would rather not say. It's a non-spoiler review.
No, there's that. Okay, no.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you get a definitive like yes or no on who what's his face is?
Who's that?
The villain played by
yes.
Rami Malek.
Yes,
Rami
thank
Malek,
you.
Who is at the absolute he's a fire actor, we know that, but at his absolute creepiest in this movie. Absolute like
Perfect.
Like,
That's good.
That's
Okay.
really good.
okay.
Mr. Robot is
Oh man, the first season of Mr. Robot.
Yeah. That is absolute creepiest. But yeah, overall, the movie it's I don't think it missed on anything. Like I'd like to see it again to make sure. And I don't know. At some point in time, I like to rank like Daniel Craig's movies. Is a lot of people don't like Quantum of Solace. I thought Quantum of Solace was kind of fire. You know what I mean?
It's all right.
Yeah. It's by far the shortest. That Quantum of Solace is like an hour and 35 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really short movie, but I think it's good. A lot of people don't like it, but at some point in time, I'll rank them as far as, and I'd have to see this one again before I do that ranking though, because it's still good. It's good. So highly recommended. No Time to Die. I would say, yo, if you're a fan in any capacity, that's you need to watch that because it's his send off. So,
Do you have a favorite Bond that's not Craig?
Oh man, dude. Timothy Dalton wasn't bad. Roger Moore wasn't bad either.
Roger Moore was there the longest.
Yeah.
He had the shortest stint. He only had one movie, I think.
Yeah. Damn, imagine.
Yeah.
Imagine getting hired to play James Bond, and then after one movie, they're like, okay, we're gonna like bounce to another actor or whatever.
Isn't he the one who did License to Kill? Or was that the other guy?
No, License to Kill is Timothy Dalton.
Oh, okay.
License to Kill and The Living Daylights, I think.
Pierce Brosnan. He was Bond for a while.
Yeah, Pierce Brosnan was good. He was good. He was good. I think at his movies though, he was good as Bond, but I don't like the movies that much. I mean, they're decent like action films, but as far as like the movies, I think they tried to do a couple things, because I remember when I saw Casino Royale, I was like, yo, this is a fucking absolutely fabulous awakening. Like it was just a new thing, and it was Daniel Craig, and the fighting style they chose for him was like just fucking just fall off a building and hit three floors on the way down and fucking still get up and fight. I love that shit. And there's more of that in this one too. Just brawler type of mentality, like Batman and shit. You know what I mean? Like a Batman style fighting instead of like everything being so clean and choreographed. But yeah, I did enjoy the movie, and like I said, hope you guys go see it. Also, something else that dropped. Look at this up here real quick. Which I'm sure you guys saw it is. Okay, why is it doing that? Hold up, give me a second. It's flickering. See how it's flickering?
Oh.
Strobe light style.
Yeah, strobe light style for sure.
I had it pulled up.
Not strobe lights, stroke lights.
There it goes.
Yeah, so here we go. Young Justice Phantoms was announced. I guess they're going to elaborate more on this in DC fandom.
Yeah.
Like the shot.
You guys' thoughts, man. First of all, I liked the first two seasons of Young Justice. The third one was, it left some stuff
To be desired.
Yes, it did. It did. So what do you guys think about this? And first of all, like Neil, did you watch Young Justice?
Yeah, I love Young Justice. Yeah.
Okay. What do you think about the third season and your thoughts on?
I'm rewatching the third season right now. I'm on like the 20th episode just to freshen the mind. I love the first two. I love where they were going. I don't know. Did the animation change a little bit in the third one, or is it just me?
It's got to.
Well, it came out a couple years later, so it was a little bit updated, but like similar style, I think.
Yeah, similar style to it. I'm excited. I love the animated universe. So if they can continue to come out with stuff like this and maybe try to do continuations, I'm not going to be upset about that. Doesn't bother me. It excites me. I mean, this is cool. Yeah. This is something in the realm that I feel that everybody can appreciate. Yeah, maybe.
So and I also think that like the what got the season 3 of Young Justice made was like fans. I believe that's what I think.
Yeah.
Is a lot of fan outcry
100%.
for it, and it got it. So I think that like the creators of this show, the showrunners, actually will listen to the fans. So like any gripes they had with the 3rd season, maybe they come in and try to sure some things up. Considering that's the only they're still working on this show because the fans were just like, yo, give me Young Justice season 3 right now. And it eventually got made. So yeah. So what do you think, Phil, man? What you think?
So I remember when Young Justice got canceled and then it went to Netflix. There was a large campaign by both Brandon Vietti and Greg Weisman via Twitter. It was very similar to the Snyder Cut in a lot of ways. And they were just like, look, just binge the hell out of Young Justice season 1 and 2. Keep that hashtag going. People are paying attention, right? And this is WB Animation, like, come on, like they're notorious for revisiting other things, and especially when you have that opportunity, especially Greg Weisman having worked on what was it, Spectacular Spider-Man, and that's still a lot to be desired. Disney can make a lot of money off that, but they haven't. Even though like now with Young Justice Phantoms, I feel like with season 3, the animation was like, I could see that it was kind of wonky. It was fresher. It was definitely like, maybe a bit return to form for some people, but maybe some new people working on it. I don't know. I don't really know how that industry works too well, but I just, just having watched all of it,
just by observation,
recently, but just based off observation, because I watch a lot of animation over the years, and Young Justice is one of my favorites too. Like, I love that world. I feel like it's a very spirited sequel to Justice League and Justice League Unlimited in a lot of ways. And I feel like with each season tackling a bit of a different take on, certain aspects of DC, I think that's a really smart idea. And especially doing like time jumps between seasons, and also again, like having each season be a focal point of different members of the team. Like season 1 was them as younger characters, and you see them like not necessarily in their origin, but not quite to where they get to. And we get to like kind of, grow up with this, not quite Teen Titans, but not quite, Outsiders. But even though season 3 is largely based on the Outsiders, I think it's just a really nice new part of DC's multiverse. And I feel like that picture that they showed for Phantoms, it's looking a lot like maybe that multiverse map. Because you got 2 worlds there, you got some kind of union going on between them. You got a sun, some magic. Like, I don't know. I don't really know what to expect, because initially when you think like Phantoms, especially since season 2 was called Invasion, and it was largely an invasion by the people who created the Scarab, the Breach. There we go. And then, season 3 was like largely based on the Outsiders, where Batman defects from the Justice League and creates his own kind of secret squadron of superheroes who do super like black ops missions. It's basically like Batman kind of doing the Suicide Squad, but not the Suicide Squad without putting bombs in people's necks. No, really. The Outsiders is a really fun run. I'm reading it right now, and I feel like Phantoms has got to be, I don't know. I'm curious to see what they're going to do and where they're going to pull from. Like initially I'm kind of drawn towards maybe the more magical side of DC, because, they've got Zatanna up front and close right there. Yeah. But then, they've got McGann there, as embracing her whole self. Apparently she's also got her ring, her engagement ring. So I feel like it's going to pick up maybe right where 3 left off, but I don't know. I have no idea. I think it looks apparently clear that Calder's still Aquaman. That's great. Yeah. I love that. He's honestly like the best thing about that show. I love Calder's as Aquaman.
Yeah, he's pretty fire. Dawson, man, your thoughts?
I'm kind of similar to a lot of people. Like, I really enjoyed the first 2 seasons. I watched them later on as my wife really loved them. And so she showed them to me. And then the 3rd season came along. I wasn't as big of a fan. I've kind of expressed my thoughts about that quite a bit on different streams and stuff. Just a lot of things they did with the story. And all of that just really didn't vibe well with me. I will say, though, I'm very glad they announced this today, because there was the hashtags going out for DC fandom, and everybody was freaking out about the Aqualad hashtag. Like, what's this mean for Aquaman 2? And it's just like, hold on. And they announced this, and I was like, okay, thank you for clearing that up. That makes things a whole lot easier. For me, just headache wise. I mean, it should be exciting if they have corrected some things they try to do in the 3rd season, or if they try to not shove so many things into the story like last time. It should turn out just fine, because I do really like the animation style. I like a lot of the characters. And so I think there's reason to be excited for it, at least to a certain degree. So,
yeah. So we'll see where it goes. Obviously, it doesn't. All it says is new season streaming soon.
Yeah.
So I don't know when they're gonna drop it. I can't remember what it said. Was it on DC Universe first? Yes. Okay, I thought so. Like
that's what brought it back. They put it on DC Universe.
Yeah.
And they did it like they dropped it in a weird way. So they did like 3 episodes, and they did 1, then 1, then 1,
yeah,
and I think 2, then 3 for like a mid-season, and then they kind of waited a couple weeks, and then they did 3, 1, 1, 1, 1, 3 for the finale.
Yeah,
some shit like that. I don't really remember.
I think that's pretty accurate. Should they bring back Wally West?
I don't know how you do that. That's
yeah. I've watched the first 2 seasons after their run, so like it was I got to binge them. In other words,
same here.
Yeah, it was good. And I didn't think I was gonna like it that much, and I was like, "Yo, this is pretty fire, dude." And I remember when, spoilers if you haven't seen it, I'm sorry. At the end of season 2, Wally just fucking vanished, and I was just like, When's the next season? And then nothing happened.
Canned.
Canned and shit. And I was like, yo, what the fuck? Yeah. So I think it's a great show. Like I said, the 3rd season it's whatever you want to make of it. And I'm excited for it. If they do, like, obviously you were talking about the time jumps, Phil, especially between the first 2 seasons. That was a jump.
That was a balls jump.
It was a jump to where, like, I was confused watching the first episode. The second season, like, wait a minute, they're not together anymore.
Independence Day,
Dick
is Nightwing, Aqualad working with Black Manta. You're just
that was a great season. That was great.
And Tim Drake's Robin. That's what really caught a lot of people. They're like, really? And then like towards the end of the season, you get Jason Todd, and it's like a Muriel, and you're like, he's dead. And then in season 3, Ra's al Ghul has a red-hooded ninja.
Interesting. I will say this. They're letting the creators of this show do what the fuck they want.
Free reign.
Yeah. He said Wally is in the Speed Force.
That's the assumption.
Yes, that was. So like I said, Young Justice Phantoms, maybe they'll put out like the release date during DC Fandom. I'm not sure if they'll do that or not, but hopefully they do, so we can get ourselves prepared for that. I think the consensus is that we're all
at least decently excited.
Yeah. We're gonna watch it. I mean, if that's don't worry about the fact whether or not we're gonna watch it, because we are.
It won't be bad.
Well, don't jinx it now. All right.
It makes me feel happy like I'm reading
made of wood and knock on it. All right. Good. I could hear it. That was wood.
All right. So we've reached the point of the show. We're going to.
That's what she said.
Man.
All right, you guys. So like I said, the biggest thing in this show was obviously going to be us talking about a series from Disney Plus that I will admit when over a year ago when they had, I think it was either Comic-Con or I think it was D23. One of those the conventions where Disney announces new shit. They had Marvel come out there and they put all of these movies up on the board, like for their next slate after Endgame or whatever.
2019. It was
2019.
It was like Disney It was like Disney 23 Day or like. It was somewhere in August of 2019 when they announced everything, because I think that's where they might have showed off like the first bit of Black Widow. I don't really remember too much.
Yeah. Bob was good. He says, when are we getting the schedule? They just announced the lineup. They didn't put a schedule out there. So
it starts at 10 a.m. my time, 10 a.m. PST, Pacific Standard Time.
So what day of the week is it on?
Saturday. Next Saturday.
Okay, let's say if they do it like freaking Tuesday, I swear.
I work.
Yeah, me too. That's what I'm talking about.
Cartoon Network always cancel shit for no reason. I always said, what about? Yeah. So Saturday, and so that's you said 10 a.m. your time?
Yeah.
So that's
and I work at noon that day.
So that's 1 for me. Okay. And so I remember when they put all of those up there. They put up there Doctor Strange, the new movie from them, all of these movies, and then they put What If, and I was like, what what is this? Yeah, I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like I questioned it as far as like, does anybody want to see that?
Twiff?
Huh?
What
Twiff?
if?
What Twiff?
What Twiff?
Oh shit!
What if?
If the only way to get the Snyderverse was to kick Dawson off YouTube, would you do it? Peace out, Dawson, man. I got to say, nah, Dawson would kick himself off to get the Snyderverse. So,
all right,
we saw the announcement for it or whatever, and I mean, I'm sure it's probably the same. I'm not alone in my thinking of like, what is this? Like, is this something to be interested in? And obviously, shit built up to where we are, and we've gotten What If started a few months ago, and I have never been more, I should say, happier to be proven wrong about my assumptions up to what this show could be, because What If is fired. Like it's been a good, like, comes out every Wednesday. You watch the episodes, they're short, they're to the point. Show starts off, the watcher, we ponder the question, what if one thing changed in the MCU, and we get these episodes that with fire animation and stuff, and they just dropped on us, which that's kind of little. I don't know how to make it fucking bigger. The Guardians of the Multiverse episode, which was the season finale for What If. I'll just say real quick, obviously animation.
That's a dope poster.
Yeah,
I'll say it right now.
I found it I Googled it and found it, and it looks fire. This is pretty much the Guardians of the Multiverse, which they say in the episode. Real quick, let me put this out there just in case nobody has seen it yet. Spoilers for What If.
Put that up.
Yeah. Put up the strong light. Yeah. So the season finale came out. I liked it. It's not my favorite episode, but I think I liked episode 8 more than this one. But they ended it off with a bang, and they left questions, which is the show's called What If. So they literally left me with some questions as far as the show ended. But so what do you guys think, man? Let's start with what you think, Phil, man, of the season finale.
So I'm right there with you. I liked it just fine. It's not my favorite. My favorite's probably still got to be either the T'Challa Star-Lord or Doctor Strange. It's got to be one of those two.
Yep.
I thought it was fine. It was really fine. I wasn't a fan of like putting Peggy Carter in the Winter Soldier garb. Just she should have. I think personally she should have kept her Captain Britain outfit like that, or her Captain Carter shit, like the original like red white, like that would have. I don't know. I just wasn't a fan of doing the Winter Soldier thing with her costume. I thought that was kind of dumb. I think Ultron. I think the Vision Ultron, the way that was handled, and the way that Killmonger, like the way they kind of write that into a literal pocket corner, I was like, oh, that's cute. You guys did the thing in the comic, but it was cool, and I'm just kind of surprised the Watcher didn't fight. I think, on the whole, as a season, there were some episodes towards the middle and even kind of towards the end where it's like, whatever. Like the zombie one, I didn't really care for too much. The Killmonger one, I really wasn't that big of a fan of, because it's like, we knew that's of course that would happen, like, duh. But it's just like, I think as a whole, it's a fun idea, and I'm really curious to see if any of this will bleed into Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I would be shocked.
Yeah, Dawson, your thoughts on the season finale?
Yeah, dude. Like, I feel like this, as well as episode 8, really solidified Ultron to be the terrifying villain that he should have been in the first place. I think they did a really great job of kind of resurrecting the fear of Ultron in the eyes, or I guess in the hearts of fans of Marvel Comics. And I just think this episode is pretty dang good. There were some things I definitely questioned. And we are talking spoilers. Like, I was, although I kind of get the reasoning at the end, but the entire episode as I was watching, I was like, why the freak is Killmonger here? What purpose is he serving? He almost, besides like kicking Ultron in the face once, he doesn't really do anything in the actual main fight or in the actual plan that they put into place. Because at the end, when he's like trying to take the stones away from Arnim Zola, like Doctor Strange points out, that wasn't part of the plan. So what was his part of the plan exactly? So that part was kind of annoying to me, especially considering the fact that everybody else was pretty much a hero mean, obviously Doctor Strange was kind of, he had good intentions from what he did.
Yeah.
But T'Challa, not T'Challa, but Killmonger straight up murked people and was like overthrowing a government. So he didn't fit in to that group of characters. And it was also kind of interesting because like when we left off in his episode, Shuri and Pepper Potts were like going after him and they had found out his plan. And so he's just kind of gone from their world now. And they're just like, all right, I guess we don't have to worry about him anymore. But overall, I thought it was pretty fun. I liked Captain Carter a lot more in this episode than I liked her in her own episode. Her own episode, like they talked about dancing way too much, and she kind of annoyed me a little bit. But this one, like I believed her as a captain, like a leader of a group to a certain extent. Doctor Strange was freaking boss, man. I tell you what, like he was so awesome.
Yeah,
all like the creatures he's able to unleash, like you actually got to see like the tentacles come out and kind of have that little story come to fruition. You see the remembrance in Captain Carter's eyes, like, oh man, I know exactly what that is. So I thought that was really interesting. And I could have gone to that party Thor because he really didn't do a whole lot either. He's a massive idiot. I mean, he's literally, his battle cries, "Viva Las Vegas!" It's like, why?
He causes all the stupidity and shit to happen. So it's like, okay. That was his point.
He's definitely getting another episode in season 2.
Yes.
I'm sure he is.
I did laugh when he screamed. I went,
yeah, when he screamed, he was getting picked up. Like,
I laughed at that part. I was like, oh shit, that's
the one big thing that I kind of had a complaint about with this episode. Overall, I did really like it, but the one big complaint I had is when they're about to toss the Infinity Stone to Gamora. Like Black Widow just rides in out of nowhere and grabs the stone. And it's just like, okay, first off, out of all the places you could be, you're the last person on your planet. You're in this city of all places, and you're just driving by as they're tossing a stone, and you have the presence of mind to grab it out of air.
She is
like, what? Why? Why are you doing this? But I mean, other than that, it was a very fun episode. Really good action, really good display of magic, and Ultron was just fantastic. But I will say my favorite is probably either the Doctor Strange one or episode 8 with the Watcher and Ultron. I think those two were the most heavy hitting and the most compelling, the ones that were the hardest to take your eyes off the screen for.
So the Watcher knew it was going to have him betraying everyone's fun.
I know that, and like
that was my thought of it. That was my thought up to why why Killmonger was there was just because he knew that if at the end he would try to take him, and that way he could just put them both in that fucking ball and get rid of them for whatever amount of time. Not. I don't know if that's true or not, but that was just my thoughts of it. Because when we talked about last night, why Killmonger was there, and I was like, it was for that reason.
But see, like you could use that to rationalize anything with a story like this. You'd be like, oh, the Watcher knew this, the Watcher knew that, the Watcher knew Black Widow's going to be there, like Batman saying. But it's just like, okay, but that kind of feels lazy at some point, where it's like, oh, the Watcher just knew. He just knew. So okay, so now you don't really have to follow any type of logic.
There was no logic in this episode.
Go ahead, Neil. Your thoughts on the season finale?
Oh, I enjoyed the season finale. I enjoyed the spectacle of it. You know, like we were tying it all together. You're bringing all the stories that you were telling, and you were leading to something.
The multiverse.
Right. Now, was it its strongest episode? No, because the language at times was kind of weak to me. Some of the interactions were quick. And you're like, all right, we're bringing them all together. But when it came down to the fight itself, oh wow, the fight itself,
it was dope. Yeah.
That was amazing. But for storytelling, for the finale, I thought it was a little bit weak. You know, I'm not gonna go like, oh, because I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the whole fucking season. But for the main tie-in, I love how you pay in Ultron, giving him a very terror kind of like feel to him, like holy crap, this guy can really take over everything if he really wanted to, and he finally got that. But as a whole, for like the finale episode, I'll give it like it was like middle of the pack for me, because one of my favorite episodes was the espionage episode, the Fury Bad Day.
Yeah,
big freaking fan of the way that was done. I loved it.
I didn't know anyone from that episode either. That's hard.
Yeah. And then the way they showed him friggin' yeeting all the Avengers, and the way he did it, you saw that Ant-Man, and that's the one thing I did love in this. I shouldn't say that right now because we're talking about the season finale.
Yeah.
So for me, I was more engaged. Like I knew, like as you were going, like when you saw, like, because I remember when I saw the Party Thor episode, I'm like, wait a minute, it's fucking Ultron. They're tying this whole thing in. And then even the car commercial, if anybody saw the fucking car commercial that they had that episode kind of right in there where they're all standing together. I'm like, okay, so they're
Hyundai. You talking about the Hyundai?
Yeah. I'm like, all right. Standouts though for the episode, definitely Doctor Strange, I would say. And then I also enjoyed the fact that they did something with the Black Widow character and they put her in some other kind of Avenger universe, and you get to see all the Avengers still fighting because everybody was bitching and moaning about the fact that they kept killing Tony Stark. They didn't kill Tony Stark in this episode.
Yeah, didn't.
And I had his steampunk Iron Man thing going on with all the.
I mean, the writer of the whole show was getting death threats for how often they were killing Tony Stark.
Relax.
Relax a little bit.
Did any of you get a little more intrigued though in the episode when they were on those Earths about to have like their climax moments to see where that was going to go, instead of getting that entire tie-in at any point, or no?
You talking about when they got pulled at the beginning?
Yeah, like when everybody was getting pulled, you're like, "Ooh, where are they going to go?" I'm with Phil. I didn't need the Winter Soldier thing going on right there with Captain Carter. I would have definitely kept her in her time period, like the But other than
that's the point. Like Captain Carter, right?
Yeah.
Like
I was just kind of like, I'm with you on that. But like I wanted to see what was going to happen with freaking the Black Panther universe. I wanted to see what was going to happen with Killmonger. I wanted to see how they were going to overtake him. I was like, ooh, that could have been pretty good because his episode might have been one of the ones for me throughout it. Yes, there were some fucking awesome moments in that episode with like the wars, but for him, but I feel at his point also was to keep everybody kind of on their toes in a way, because nobody trusted him, nor did they trust anybody else. But he was the one guy everybody just kept looking at like, dude. You know what I mean? Like he kept getting that look from everybody, and that kind of keeps people sharp, I guess, in a way. I don't know. I mean, maybe that's the aspect, maybe where they're going. I don't know. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I also like where they went with when you thought they had won, when the little thing crawls on Ultron and takes all the stones, and you think they've won, and then all of a sudden he's just like, nah, I'll just go to this other universe and get their stones, and then I'm back, and I'm about to fucking, you know what I mean? Like I like the way they did that because at first I was like, wait a minute, that was too. I mean, it wasn't easy. Obviously, they had like this fire battle go on, but at the same time, I was like, that was a bit easy. And then they took it a step further, which I actually enjoyed, and I did like the way that the relationship between Peggy and Natasha. I like that little back and forth when they meet again, and she's like, "Yo, who are you?" And she's like, "Yo, this that." Like we know each other or whatever, and she doesn't get it. Yeah, because obviously she wasn't in that universe.
And then they went and did the whole dancing gimmick again when she meets Vatrock the Leaper. It's like, well, I'm a pretty good dancer. I was like, oh, please, just let that be the only time that's referenced here, please. No. And it was, and I was like, okay, ooh, I can breathe.
I will say this. Of some of the actors in this series that they weren't able to get back for voices, they got fucking George St. Pierre. Like he actually voiced Batroc. I was like, but you couldn't get, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that was one of the weirdest things. But overall, yeah, I liked it. Like I said, wasn't my favorite episode of the series. I'm
kind of butthurt we didn't get the Gamora episode. That would have been fun.
Because that Tony Stark armor looked dope.
Right. And I'm just like,
it was just weird to have like Sakaar painting on it. Like it felt like it had some designs of that world.
Yeah, I want Captain America going with Hydra too.
Yeah,
I'm sure they'll get to that at some point. They have to.
I really want that.
That was also because we didn't get that Gamora episode when the Watcher came to get her. It felt a little displaced. It was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because everyone else you had that they pulled, they had an episode and they had you knew that character, in other words, but they came and got her, and I was just like,
yeah.
And that moment with the Infinity Stone Crusher would have probably been a little more impactful.
Yeah, and that was a badass thing too. That when that whole thing exploded, I was like, oh shit, get me one of those.
Yeah, they probably were going to introduce that in the episode. So again, when they used it and it didn't work in this episode, it probably would have been really interesting because I assume it does work when she takes down Thanos.
Yes.
You'd have to. That's what the initial.
Yeah,
thing
and
it
then
was
they
used for,
explain it quickly in the moment. She's like, "Well, it worked differently on Myra, so it's the opposite here." Or something that kind of deal.
I think he won't be there at all.
I don't think
so either.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be there.
He's too busy training Peter Quill.
I mean, that was cool though when he sniped the stone. He's like, stick fingers.
That was cool.
Yeah, dude, that was fun.
And I like the fact that all these characters, regardless of them being regular humans or just being like Gamora or whatnot, could grab an Infinity Stone because they had a protection spell. That worked for me. I was like, okay, yes, that solves that issue.
Love the way the protection spell was hit with that.
Yeah, dude, the protection spell was fire. I do like that aspect of it because, like I said on Four Nerds last night, when T'Challa gets kicked 7 miles and he hits the ground, but then it's believable why he still gets up and he's still alive.
It's not like freaking Hawkeye in the other episode when he like gets tackled off a building and lands like 30 stories down and is somehow like just okay. Yeah, it's like what? I mean, a robot arm is only going to cushion a fall so much, if at all.
It's a Terminator 2.
Real quick on this episode, like the credit scene, right? And this is questions y'all like to. So, what'd you guys think about that? It was unexpected for me because I didn't know what I didn't know what they were doing. So, Neil, what'd you think about that? The credit scene?
Very interesting. Yeah. Where are you going to go with that?
Yeah.
And it leaves it off on a positive note, but it's not going to be positive. He's definitely going to be like Winter Soldier or something to that effect.
Mm-hmm.
He has to.
And that's a whole different meaning to Hydra Stomper.
Yeah. I mean, that's my quick guess on that because you're leaving it positive, but this is also what could happen. So we haven't got.
Also, what'd you think about the credit scene?
I thought it was good. I think it adds a whole different aspect to the whole Winter Soldier thing. Like obviously with the Winter Soldier, it was Steve Rogers reuniting with an old friend, but with Peggy, it's reuniting with the love of her life. So it adds that much more emotional impact to it. And I did really like the Hydra Stomper armor, even though it looked a little too much like Iron Man to me. I feel like they should have maybe altered it just a little bit more. But I think it'll be very interesting. I wonder if they're going to make it to where Steve is actually like bigger and more muscular rather than the tiny little runt that he was in that episode. Because you'd imagine like if they want a soldier to like be effective, they would make it to where he can pilot a suit and be able to fight on his own. So if they're both like super powered and like super soldier serumed up, that'd be interesting.
Nice. Phil, what'd you think about the post-credit scene? Or the mid-credit scene or whatever?
I'm curious about it. Like, I'm sure they're going to follow up with it at some point because obviously, Natasha said, was it Natasha that showed it to her?
Yeah.
Okay, Okay. So she says, like, there's someone inside. I'm just like, were they frozen in Siberia? Like, where exactly did S.H.I.E.L.D. pick this up? That's my question. Because if they just uncovered it in the ice and he was frozen, then he's still going to look like Twig Steve. But if it's anything like if they do anything like Winter Soldier and he's been property of Hydra for 70 something years and he's the new Winter Soldier, I'm curious to see how they work that into it because obviously that would change Shriveled Steve to a different kind of character.
I liked it and I still had to say like this sort of the same thought process as y'all. It's just like the way it ended before the credits started was it was kind of sad for Captain Carter because she was like everybody else gets to go back and have their whatever. She's like, what about me? And the Watcher's just like, I can't even help you, so peace out. You know what I mean? But then like that happens and it's almost like that's almost too good to be true. So like next season if they started with that, Steve might be a fucking Nazi or something, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like they might throw a wrench into the gears to where he's just not.
They might give him the serum and then make him Captain Hydra. Who knows?
Yeah. Like what up? But yeah, so I don't know. That's just it seems a little bit too good for her. Season 2 is not going to start with her and Steve having a dance and shit. You know what I mean?
I swear, if they mention dancing one more freaking time, I swear, like it's already been like 15 times. I don't need any more references. I get it. They had a thing with dancing the whole time, and it's understood.
We'll
play the Dirty Dancing song.
Let's do what ifs based on the
had the time of my life.
Oh, I
never felt like this before.
I wonder if one of the what ifs is what if
Yes,
he
I
remains
swear.
kill Sylvie.
The truth.
Do what now if he remains what?
With what if one of the what if episodes in season 2 is what if he remains lived? I don't know.
What if,
I don't doubt they'd probably do a what if regarding Shang-Chi.
oh yeah. What if they didn't,
That's too quick.
what if they didn't kill them things?
I like when. Oh, we didn't even talk about when fucking when Zombie Scarlet Witch comes down.
That was dope.
Yeah, dude.
And she's just
That's
like,
fucking moment when he drops the zombies.
She does
I
it
was
like
like,
she does
oh,
Thanos in Endgame, and all of a sudden he breaks out. She's like, "Oh, I'm fucked."
Yeah.
She just makes like, I don't know what the fuck.
And no bad, Dan. I don't hate dances. I just hate them referencing that thing from the first movie so dang much. It gets to a point where, like, if you reference something ad nauseum, I become nauseated. All right, it's just kind of how it works.
I would like to see Shang-Chi if they didn't defeat those things at the end. That would be awesome to see what happens if they weren't able to contain those things that were coming out of the. You remember what they were called, Phil? Like that were coming out of the wall.
So the big dragon, I think, was called the bottom dweller, the soul dweller, dark dweller, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that thing's offspring. I'm not really sure. I'm kind of waiting for that movie to hit Disney Plus again before I watch it.
He hate dances or something. He says that dancing is important to dogs. I get tired of them back.
But they don't need to mention it 30 times.
Yeah, they did mention a lot. What if any of the improbable events in Zemo's plan didn't happen? Are you talking about it in Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Is that what he's talking?
Maybe Civil War.
Oh, Civil War. Oh, dude, yeah. What if from the rip they were like, Zemo blew up your dad? So T'Challa just go after.
They can fucking go anywhere. Actually, now with the whole movie verse, if they wanted to.
They said Dawson doesn't have a heart. They all need a night.
Hey, dude. Okay. I can appreciate connections between loved ones. I mean, I'm married myself. My wife and I have things that we enjoy together, but we don't mention them 30 times in the day. Like, remember that time we went dancing?
Yo, that's a good point. She might have, once he broke out of whatever she was trying to do to him, she was like, "Oh, that's Vision," and maybe recognize him. And she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna die."
Huh? That's good, Anthony. Way to look deep there, Trash.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, Anthony, you want a link? Let me know.
Got him.
I'll send you a link. Talk to Trash. Yes, I'm talking about Civil War. Zemo's plan didn't make sense. To a certain extent. I mean, it worked out for him. I think I like Zemo better in the Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah.
I feel
Even
like
that dancing scene.
I feel like if they did it a what if with Zemo, it'd be like, what if?
Enough dancing. We'll leave it to when we get to a certain show that started off with "What the fuck."
Oh, no. That's it. I'll see you guys later.
We'll get to that in a bit. But I was like,
oh no,
what is happening right now?
Stop screen saying, "Oh no."
Oh, no. Oh, God damn it.
Oh man. But anyway, I'll bring this up real quick.
Those are pretty cool.
Yeah, they are. I went and found all the shots. So the series, like I said before we started talking about it, like when it was announced, and I thought, what? Nobody is really who's asking for this.
What in the hell?
And like I'll
You're
say,
my son. I'll give you a hug right now.
And I don't often pull myself up on my thing, but never been so happy to be wrong about something. The show turned out to be absolutely fire. So, animation, the promotion for the show, like these posters here I've brought up for each episode were all very glorious and fire. Yeah. And they got something on their hands. Marvel, good ups. You guys did really well with this. Especially if you've watched, especially if you've watched like all of the movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe up until this point, these shows made sense. Like you watch them, you're like, oh Easter egg, cool. It was just a good thing to watch, man. So I'll go first real quick. I would still say that the Doctor Strange one is my favorite, for sure. And then T'Challa one is right up there with it. could be a tie. I mean, I don't know. And then after that, I would go for the episode 8, not the season finale, but episode 8.
Ultron.
Yeah, with Ultron. Yes, I would go with that one. Obviously, there are some that I would, I wouldn't leave them by the wayside, but I'd say they're at the bottom, like the Party Thor. Killmonger's, I liked it, I think, a bit more than y'all did. The zombie one didn't hit that well for me, but it was still good though. Like, it was still a watch where I could sit here, I could watch the, you know what I mean? I could watch it and enjoy it, but still say, okay, but last week's was better. Which last week's before was better, to be honest. Yeah. So yeah, man, we'll go around. So Neil, man.
Yes.
Favorite episode, series overall. Here, I'll throw this back up here just in case you need to like look.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna pull stuff up so I don't forget.
Yeah. So this is in order, basically. This is in order of the
all right, cool. I love episode 3. Episode 3 was one of my favorite. Probably that goes number 1 for me. I love the espionage. I love the mystery.
Yeah. Okay.
Who is killing the Avengers? How's it going down?
That shit was fire.
And then when you saw it was Hank Pym, psychotic, and the daughter died and all that kind of shit, I was like, ooh, damn. They're finally using an Ant-Man kind of scenario where, if this guy wants to, he can fucking take everybody out without anybody knowing. I was a big fan of the way that episode hit. Yeah, there were some moments in it, with like smelling Thor's hair and all that kind of shit. Where you're like, all right, dude, what the fuck's going on with that? What's with that? But I really enjoyed that episode a lot. So episode 3, and then it's gonna go the Doctor Strange, and then T'Challa. I enjoyed the Captain Carter episode. I know everybody was kind of like meh with that one when that was the first one, but I always felt that was the perfect episode to start What If with.
Yes.
And
that episode was fire.
It wasn't its strongest or anything like that, but with the animation, with the action that was happening, yeah, I know some people are like, man, I didn't like it, but I actually enjoyed that episode a lot. So I'll give that a number 4 for me.
Katsuka, highly recommended Katsuka. Watch it. It's good. If you enjoy the movies in any capacity, like the Marvel movies, watch What If. It's good. It's good.
And then honestly, like after that, if you want to go like top 4 with me, I can do that. After that, it's like it goes all over the place because like the Watcher episode where you actually see like that moment where Visiontron, we can call him, fucking all of a sudden goes, I see you. And then he's just like, oh, fuck. And, like you were just like, whoa, because the whole, throughout the whole series, he's just like the dude in the clouds where like they kind of throw him in like that.
He's the dude dressed as a dude disguised as another dude.
There was, after like the 4th, I can really go all over the place with what I liked, my top 4. So all in all, I think it's a very enjoyable series. I'm not going to give it number rankings or anything like that. If you're not watching, and I say you're doing a disservice to yourself because if you're a comic book fan or just a fan of heroes in general when it comes to all this stuff, kind of shit, watch it. Don't go in with any kind of bias. Crap, just fucking watch it. Don't give me that Marvel DC crap.
Also, real quick, the show went dark sometimes. You know what I mean? I loved it, dude. It went dark, and I was like, yes. Dark. Yeah, it did. So Dawson, man, I'm throwing back up here. What's overall and your favorites, man?
I would say my top favorite would be episode 8 with Ultron. I just think that whole him taking over everything and then all of a sudden able to see the Watcher and the oh crap moment that the Watcher has. Yeah. The way they animated the realm that the Watcher exists in to where he can peek into different realities is really cool. And how Ultron smashed into that. And just the sense of dread that gave you, like, holy crap, Ultron has this presence, this ability. It really kind of terrifies you. That one's followed up by, what's up, Steppenwolf? That one's followed up by Doctor Strange for me. That one was just heartbreaking just because, again, it was a really good rendition of the Time Machine story with Doctor Strange. And you just felt like that was probably the best voice acting of the entire season was that episode. Okay. Third favorite for me was the Zombies one. I feel like a lot of people kind of disregarded the Zombies one, but I like that one quite a bit. I feel like they nailed some really good tropes of zombie movies. And, a lot of people complain about Peter Parker, but like I didn't mind him. and like someone mentioned earlier, at least confirmed that he did indeed have at one point a Uncle Ben, and that what he said at some point did at least impact him in some way. Fourth one would be the Nick Fury one with Hank Pym and all how that stuff went down. Then Captain Carter, T'Challa, Killmonger, and then last one for me would be Thor, just because it was just silly and ridiculous. And that's not to say like any of these were bad. Like there was no bad episode for the season, which is what I loved about it. But yeah, top one for me has just got to be the Ultron episode.
Nice. Yeah. That's
Well, I guess I should have said the finale was like in the top 3. I forgot to mention the finale, but yeah.
Simpin' Wolf, what else? Captain Carter was awesome. Yeah, it's easy to forget Captain Carter because it was the first one, and that literally was 2 months ago. You know what I mean? That we saw that. Yeah. I remember being thoroughly impressed with that episode across the bar, just because of the animation was fire, and they did like if she became Captain America, they made her bigger than everybody else, and I really fucking enjoyed that shit to see that. So Phil, man, throwing back up here, what's your favorites?
It's definitely between 2, 3, and 4. Those are my absolute favorites, no question about it. I would probably put the finale, Ultron, and then probably Captain Carter, and then middle rank, and then the bottom row starts with zombies, and then at the very bottom is Party Thor. Obvious reasons, but I think just overall, it was fun for the most part. It just, I had fun with it, but it's just, it wasn't necessarily something I quite was like hammering for, but it was, it was fun while it went on over the weeks, and I'm kind of sad that it's not going to be a weekly thing for at least 6 months to a year whenever they decide to do season 2. But I'll watch season 2. I'm not not ready to walk away from it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it's but say I want some pizza. I have some in there, and I'm eating it.
I had pizza last night, and I was
what up, Gavin?
This morning.
He said, "Okay, relax, Steppenwolf."
I was wondering when you saw that one.
Oh, Jesus.
My two that I didn't care for were Killmonger and Party Thor. Yeah. So that's it. What if was and like we've said, obviously, generally we love the show. It was like what a thing to let their and like I've said this before. Like obviously, Feige let the people who created this, let them do what they wanted to do. They were just like, yo, you have what idea do you have? Wait a minute, what he does what? Put that in the show. You know what I mean? Like, obviously the person who had the idea that, Thor was a college frat boy, they were like, go ahead and do that. Maybe no, but yeah, I like, especially in the Ultron episode, that the interaction you get to see between Clint and Black Widow before obviously he sacrifices himself was fire, dude. Like all of that shit was good. And obviously we have our favorites and we have ones that we like least likely. But even the Thor episode that we talked so much about, it was still good though. Like it wasn't a case where I was like, I'm gonna stop watching this right now and just stop watching. You know what I mean? Like I watched it and was like, okay, they went there. But it kind of fit into the overall story of what they were doing with this season. I do like the fact that the first 5 or 6 didn't really connect to anything. Obviously they did because they brought those characters into the final when they became the Guardians of the Multiverse, but I like the disconnection between it. And so yes, you guys got any predictions? Neil, let me start with you. Predictions for next season. Just give me one episode prediction for next season.
Shit. Let's see. All right, where they left off, Mother Biscuit. Iron Man doesn't die in an episode.
Well, I'll take that wager.
Honestly, prediction. I think we're gonna get Captain America. To be honest with you, I think we're gonna get Captain America Hydra.
Yes.
Dang, you stole mine.
Yeah, that's honestly that's probably the one we probably are. That's why, but that is why I put there were several posters for the zombie episode or whatever, but that's why I put Tony Stark up there because they be murking Tony Stark. They like to take him out. Dawson, man, what you got, man?
I think they're gonna have an episode specifically surrounding Spider-Man next episode, because they were going to want to do that with the whole what if Spider-Man actually became a spider, but that became like too dark. So I don't think they'll do that. I would love for them to do what's up, Ryder? But I would love for them to do an episode of like, what if Peter did get the symbiote in the MCU? So like maybe go somewhere in that direction. That might be a little too mainstream of a story to do in a what if. But I'd be interested to see if they can connect it to a certain movie that just recently came out. And so hush.
I mean, you could. I mean, it's been out for a week.
Venom 2, let there be carnage.
Yes. Venom 2. Matter of fact, we can conversate about that a bit because we didn't on last week's episode because
spoiler tag's still up.
Yeah, sports. But Phil, what do you think about next season? What's a what if you think that might happen next season?
I think a potential what if. Someone mentioned in the chat probably something regarding Shang-Chi. You could definitely see a probably something out of the Disney Plus shows like what if Wanda still kept her hex open or kept it up or something like that. Maybe a what if about Darcy. I don't know.
Yeah, it's such a hard thing because like when this season started and then you started seeing like titles of episodes, you're like, wait, what? Like it was really random. Good, like we said, good episode, but it was just like random. Yeah, this is another.
And Snyder Steppenwolf, like that's the point. That's why I made that prediction. Because the symbiote hasn't been introduced.
By the time the next season comes out, we'll have what if, obviously Shang-Chi, and Spider-Man will be out too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No Way Home. Yeah. I think they said they want to do more Spider-Man stuff. So I'm just like, okay, cool. Get Tom Holland for the voice this time.
Instead of Peter,
I always still say go watch the Amazing Spider-Man cartoon from the 90s. You can't go wrong.
I actually just watched the Alien, the Alien suit with the 3-parter of the origin of Venom. So good.
I
absolutely love that series. I think that's a great series.
What if Thanos traveled to 2012? That would be fire, but then like what else? What after that happens? I don't know what kind of story you would be able to tell.
Yeah.
If he just went back and murked them all, like they're all just gone.
Like in the team up shot, they all have all of a sudden Thanos appears in the middle of them, just spins his blade and decapitates all of them. That'd be freaking dope.
I will say, I am kind of glad they didn't have that in this episode of What If the final. I'm glad they didn't do it. Like okay, let that
would have been on the nose.
Yeah, too much. What if Elseworlds? Yeah. For me, oh man, it's like I said, it's hard because these movies are coming out that we have not seen yet, except for obviously Shang-Chi.
Go after those movies that quick though.
Black Widow, definitely.
Yeah, Black Widow. Yeah,
Black Widow. Well, I mean, we saw a lot of her in What If this time.
Yeah.
I almost said, maybe like a what if Hawkeye died to get this instead of Scarlet.
That would have been. That's a good one. What if he died instead of her? Yes, that would have been. Yeah, that would have been fire. Yeah, I don't even. I don't know where to go with that until I see the movies. What if Ego fucking he won at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 2?
What if I still want to see that zombie Thanos? I want to see what happens there before they get plummeted into.
That's one they didn't at the end. He ended the episode. He did
right.
They should have had zombie Thanos fight Ultron.
Oh shit!
What if one of us didn't focus?
Missed opportunity.
Good call out right there.
What if Tony Masters was actually Taskmaster? Tony Masters.
Who's Tony Masters?
Tony Masters is Taskmaster.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Taskmaster in the
Tony
comics.
Masters stars in Dumb.
Did you guys also see that deleted scene of Black Widow where the government and Ross take off with Taskmaster? And I'm like,
yes.
Why didn't they do that at the end of the movie?
Yeah.
Like, why? That's such a better setup. But whatever.
Instead, she's gonna become a widow.
I saw that, but I still haven't seen the movie, so I'm like, oh fuck. That means it's a bad ending.
Well, it's on Disney Plus. You can watch it.
It's free now. It's free now. Yeah.
I haven't gotten around to it.
Give it a watch.
Yeah.
I thought it was.
It's great.
I still enjoyed it. Obviously, for me, Florence Pugh was the standout.
Yep.
Yeah.
She is fire in that movie by all means. And
sign.
yeah. So real quick, man, before we So we didn't get a chance to talk really spoilers for Venom. Let There Be Carnage.
Venom.
Yeah. Phil, man, give us your thoughts.
Okay. I was really looking forward to this movie, and I
Yeah.
liked a lot of things in this movie. I like Carnage. Carnage
Yeah.
delivered on the
Yeah.
Carnage, and then Venom not so much. I mean, I wasn't a fan of them turning Venom into such a goof ass. They really leaned into him just being kind of a I don't know, like a wannabe comedian. He's just like being super cheeky and just not funny. I don't know, but there was everything Woody Harrelson did with Carnage was super fun. That was just outstanding. And fun fact: everyone seen that? Neil, I don't think you've seen it, right? But you don't care.
No, I
Okay,
don't-
so they do this. They do this thing in the movie where they do this thing in the movie where Carnage looks up where Shriek is, right? And he finds over the internet, like in Ravencroft. But the way they do it is kind of a homage to this awful comic run where Venom and Carnage actually legitimately wind up in the internet on like through a computer and shit. And so then the next transition scene is like Carnage in the Institute. I'm just like, did they really just have him travel through the internet to get to? It's like they really just used that to move the plot forward. Or this movie is hacked up, and it is. This movie was cut so hard, dude. This movie was cut, and you can totally tell that there's footage of shit that's kind of supposed to string this movie along, and you're like, yep, they cut that. Yep, they probably cut something like that. Oh, you can tell. I'm kind of wondering if they're holding something off for like an R-rated extended cut.
That would be fire.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah,
I love. There was the pitch meeting from Screen Rant where the guy's like, yeah, and then Carnage gets out, and he's like ripping people in half and tearing people's spines out. This has to be PG-13. Okay, well, he throws people against a wall, and then we're presuming they're okay. It's just like that's pretty accurate, actually.
Yeah. So Dawson, your thoughts, man. Yeah, I know you saw it.
Yeah, I saw it yesterday or the day before. I think I saw it on Wednesday. But yeah, that was a fun experience. It was fun. It had some things like, again, him able to find her through the internet was just kind of thing like, okay, I guess, sure. I guess it's happened at some point in the comics, but it didn't bother me too much. I mean, the whole Shriek being like Carnage's girlfriend, basically, like right off the bat, you're like, okay, that's gonna be a problem between them, obviously. They didn't really, hide that very well. I guess they weren't really trying to, but it was just kind of obvious from the get-go. In fact, I turned to my wife and I was like, yeah, that's going to be an issue for them. She's like, oh, you're right. It's like, I know. But overall, it was fine. I like the CGI for both Venom and Carnage was pretty good. I wish they would have actually answered the question as to why Cletus Cassidy wanted to talk to Eddie Brock. He never gave a reason. He's just like, oh, I just wanted a friend. It's like, no, like, what made you hear about Eddie Brock? What made you intrigued by Eddie Brock? And like, what led you towards him? And also, why is Venom scared of red symbiotes? Like, he freaks out like, oh, that's a red one. And we get no explanation any further.
Yeah.
And then he eats
it.
And
it's like, okay, well, it was so
what?
scary. Like, clearly it's not too scary to the point where you can just simply eat it and kill it. Yeah,
dude.
Dumb dog.
Okay, so you know how at the end of the first movie, he eats off the head of the dude who's going to rob Miss Ched, right? So in this movie, they give him a chicken diet. He's eating chickens.
Yes. and chocolate.
And chocolate. And chocolate. But it's like,
what?
Why?
That was their way of keeping it PG-13.
I guess, right? And I'm just like, but you showed him eating a dude's head in the first movie. Like, come on, we've established what he can do. Why are we trying to limit that?
It
was just poor. It was just poor.
Yeah, there's a lot of like, I enjoyed myself like watching the movie. I was like, oh, okay, cool. There's so much because like there's when they show up at Eddie's apartment, right, and the cop shows up, and for some reason that shit moves so fast that they found the girlfriend. Like she saw a picture in the apartment. Oh, I know where you live now. How? Do you know that?
And RJ, RJ, I know what I guess Cletus Cassidy was trying to use Eddie for, but he says he wanted Eddie specifically, and it's never explained why. And if you simply want your story to get out there for Shriek, like Eddie's a guy who's a reporter who's down on his luck and hasn't really done a lot of great things lately. So he's not necessarily a reporter of great rapport.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you get somebody who's a little bit more higher up and has a little more reach and maybe doesn't have as, I guess, down of a resume?
What up? What up? What up? Yeah, he did.
It's just like there was no specific reasoning as to why he did it. I did kind of like the fact that they mentioned that Venom has to eat a specific chemical that's in human brains, or I guess brains in general.
Yeah.
That made it make a little bit more sense instead of just simply like, oh, I have to eat, humans,
Yeah. No, I think, it was just that particular part was kind of like, okay. And then like, she like just instantly appeared at their apartment, and it's just like a couple I think it was, and I'm sure, like you were saying, I hope there's like another version that we might see where it's longer and it's not so much cuts, because I think I don't know why specifically they would do that with a movie like this. It's not like did Sony just come down and go to what's his name and be like, yo,
Andy Serkis
is like, yo, movie got to be an hour and 29 minutes. Like, I don't understand. Like,
is that how long the movie was?
It's an hour. Yeah.
An hour and 30 minutes. Yeah.
It's an hour and 30 minutes.
Wow.
It starts off a bit slowly, but once it gets going, it goes. And that's why the stuff we're talking about.
Movie.
Yeah. The stuff we're talking about is like stuff that like maybe was cut out to make that time, which in any case, it just, some of it doesn't, like, it makes the movie not make sense.
I want to see a 2-hour cut of the movie. That's what I want to see. I think
there's like no connective tissue.
Yeah.
From what
Now, with that being said, visual effects,
yeah.
that shit looked really good. It did. Carnage looked amazing.
And I'm assuming you guys saw the tease. I mean, obviously we have spoiler logo in the corner.
Spoiler, spoilers for the tease.
I mean, you guys saw the tease for Toxin.
Yeah. Mulligan. Yeah.
Toxie, the Toxic Crusader.
That was interesting. I want to talk about that actually, because like Shriek throws Mulligan onto this like little platform and they kind of leave him there. And at the very end of the battle, like really abruptly cuts back to him and like shows he's kind of infected with a symbiote. I feel like that was something that they changed in editing, because I feel like that was supposed to be shown earlier in the fight, because it just felt so jarring going right back to that after everything was all said and done.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they got to leave room for a third film open somewhere.
Yeah. Which, I mean, look, the movie's making money. I don't know. Yeah. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. Obviously, like we like Venom as a comic book character. Like, he's interesting. Like everything surrounding the character. Anything. Like, I haven't read much of him, but what I have read and what I have seen, like, he's interesting. And like, I'm like, yo, that's a fire concept. Whoever, you know what I mean? Like, Phil, you know who created the character Venom?
It's like a 6-way different tie, because you got to think about like who did the symbiote story, and then like who did Venom proper. It's like Tom DeFalco, Todd McFarlane, Peter Michelinie. Just there's like 3 or 4, maybe 6 different names attached to it.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a lot of credits specifically to Venom, and even Toxin. Like, that I thought that setup was. I was kind of hoping that was coming, because they put the character in the film for a reason outside of the fact that he's there to kind of harass.
Ooh, nice.
I like that.
Very nice.
Hold on.
That's pretty.
Blow him up.
And then I want to see like this man on screen too.
Is that's McFarlane?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's Todd McFarlane.
I want to see that Spider-Man. It's kind of hard, just like a glaring of light. I'm sorry.
I feel like that Spider-Man could come sooner rather than later.
Yeah, like that's what I want to see. I want to see that kind of see that Venom.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. It's just like chopped it down for. I don't have. I don't know if you're going for if you add 30 more minutes to the movie, you're talking 2 hours, not 3. Like what happened to BVS, you know what I'm saying? Like, who cares? Like, shouldn't happen. But what I'm saying is, like, you're talking about chopping a movie down from 2 hours to an hour and a half. I don't know. That would have made a lot of difference. And
like, people would have been fine with it being 2 hours.
Yeah.
It would have been more than fine.
The first film did fine at like 2.
Also, I have to say, so it's not a secret. I live in Georgia. Did
the devil go down there?
I'll say this. So spoilers. You've been warned of spoilers. If you still have not seen Venom and still have not had the credit scene spoiled for you, you see Tom Holland, right? And so, like, I'm in the movie theater. Now, I didn't get it spoiled for me because me and Neil talked about it. I was like, yo, Neil, you got, or not Neil, but Phil, you got it spoiled, right?
Yeah. Both portions of it were spoiled for me.
It didn't get spoiled for me.
My sister spoiled it for me, but
also, but like I knew what to expect because I internet. Is that the term where I do frequent the internet?
Use the tweeters.
I was in my theater. Theater's about 30 minutes from the house. So I'm in the movie theater, and that happens. The amount of oh my gods that I heard, and these were legit oh my gods.
Yeah.
Like oh my. I was like,
climax.
I was like,
it's not that kind of movie, Neil.
I was like, do none of y'all none of you guys even frequent any type of social media at all? Like, if you even slightly frequent social media in this space, like that's not out of the realm of possibility. So yeah, I just wanted to say that because I was just really shocked. Like I was like.
One thing I want to ask you guys about that, though, is that, and people have kind of mentioned this in the chat so far, is in that mid-credit scene, Venom and Eddie are talking a little bit, and Venom mentions the hive mind of the symbiotes, right? And then, of course, he sees Tom Holland and says, that guy. So I'm kind of curious, because when you have a hive mind, you have all the memories and information that have been collected from the other symbiotes, right? So it begs the question, do we have a situation where somewhere in the multiverse, a symbiote has encountered a version of Spider-Man, and that's why Venom has, or kind of recognizes him? And if so, are they referring to the symbiote from Spider-Man 3? Now, I detest Spider-Man 3. It's an awful, god-awful movie. I don't care what anybody says. It's just terrible. But, I mean, like, when they're saying all these movies from the past are canon now, I'd assume that's what he's referring to.
It can't be.
Well, I'm curious. Why do you say
it can't be the same symbiote because the one in Spider-Man 3, the majority of it was blown to shit, and it's still on Earth. They established in the first Venom movie that Venom came from a different rocket.
Well, I'm not saying Venom from this movie was that same symbiote, but that symbiote is like has connectivity to this with this hive mind. Like that's why he knows him, because of that symbiote.
That's difficult because Spider-Man 3 was made before Null, so I don't know, like that's something that Marvel would have to be like, oh, let's just do this because they just did in the comics. Like that would be really reaching. But again, I don't know if they do pull that hive mind stuff. I don't know if that would apply to Spider-Man 3.
That is interesting though, because they did did establish that in that credit scene. So dude, which obviously Tom Holland's never been Venom.
RJ, yes, Spider-Man 3 is that bad. I just rewatched it the other day. MJ and Peter Parker scenes, god-awful. I mean, the dancing, god-awful. The only scenes that are worth anything, in my opinion, are when Sandman comes back to life and becomes Sandman.
And
Sandman then is fire, when Spider-Man takes down Venom with the pipes. Those are literally the only good things from that movie. Everything else can go right in the garbage.
What if we get a Spider-Verse crossover in the Venomverse with Tom, Toby, and Andrew, with Venom fighting Cole? Damn, Cole needs
no. Yeah, they forgot an N.
Yeah.
Do they need all of them to fight him?
No.
No, because Venom knocks Null out with a single punch.
Bro, Billy Maguire's
spoilers for the Venom comic.
Bully Maguire.
Well, no, it's King Toby, man. Chill. I think that was just
no, not at all. Freaking hate that movie. I was 8 years old when I went to watch in the theater, and that was one of the most disappointing experiences of my entire life, was seeing that movie in theater.
I'd rather watch Spider-Man 3 than Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Oh no!
Yeah. No. Actually. Oh wow! What happened?
This is hey, yo, this is Dawson right now.
Okay, gentlemen, fuck y'all.
Better villains. Villain. Sandman. Thomas St. Church. Greatest Sandman in that
Sandman
movie.
was fire, dude.
He was okay. He was one of the more better parts of the movie.
I almost I wouldn't even care if just out of the blue they were just like, yo, Spider-Man 4 with Toby and just
I'd be down for that,
and fucking Sandman. That shit was dope. Yeah, Sandman was dope.
But I'm sorry, you're wrong.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
I would watch. I love Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah,
I'd be more than happy if if I'm in a hospital with a coma and the nurse has the audacity to put on Spider-Man 3, I'll wake up from my coma to tell her to turn it off, then go back into my coma happily.
I'm in
Knowing
Joker out garb, and I'm your nurse.
No.
Phil just committed murder. My first time learning about Carnage was Spider-Man Batman crossover where Carnage teamed up with Joker.
Oh man, that one's fun.
Oh man.
The Dawson was so he was.
I am offended.
I mean, he's not the GOAT. I mean, I don't claim Andrew
He
Garfield
kind
to
of
be the other
is.
guy, but yeah.
Sorry.
He's a great Spider-Man in really bad movies. No, the first one not so much. The second one's a tough watch, dude. Like Paul Giamatti's just not a good writer.
Bill hit that Joker.
The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is one of my favorite Spider-Man movies to watch. There's just so much good in that.
I feel you. That's like me and Batman Forever, bud. But because they're kind of the same movie in a lot of ways. But...
Are you trying? I don't know what you're trying to do here. I still like you, Phil. I still like you.
That's what I'm not trying to do.
Random drop.
Oh, so you wrote hoe for show.
Yeah, I remember that girl. She was a hoe. For show.
Oh man, 40-year-old version is fucking classic on all type of levels of classic.
It's okay, Phil. I still like you. It's all right.
Andrew Garfield was more comic accurate.
You look like Tom McFarlane with Spider-Man. I'll give him that.
All
So
right.
let's move on, shall we?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached that point in the show. Where we shall dissect the latest episode of a certain HBO Max series
All right.
that has been yeah. We got to. And also can't wait for Neil's
No. I'm just getting this.
okay. I got you.
I'm just gonna point out that I haven't watched Titans.
That's
past
okay.
2 weeks.
That's okay.
I have given up.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we reach
I reached my breaking point.
I am just
yeah. We're gonna talk about Titans.
Extra tea.
So like I said, Neil is going to be doing a
Roast.
a roast and toast of Titans when the season's over with. But with that being said, since the season's going, like I said, I don't know how we're going to end episodes after this over with clowning on this show. I will hold on. Let's see what the chat's talking about.
Almost every other one is saying no.
Oh, everybody.
Yeah. Is it really that bad?
listen up, chat. If we had to pain through this, Dawson aside, you are going to pain through this.
Oh my god.
There's a reason why I gave up.
Yeah. So I'll real quick jump in and just say spoilers. The spoiler thing is still up. This is spoilers for episode. What is this? 11, right?
11.
11 of
Ridiculous
Titans,
title.
season 3. Okay. Yes.
Your speech.
Get the fuck out of here.
Just fucking right. Yes.
Wow.
That exactly.
Whoa.
Yes.
It's not kryptonite. It's Tinkerbell dust.
Yep. Yes. Yeah. We'll hit up on that. I'll
Tinkerbell.
bust that up at the end. I'll bust it up at the end. Yes. Yeah. But yeah. So if you do not,
Anthony says I'll rather shoot myself in the legs than watch
the last. Yo, dude. So basically,
Oh god.
Nightwing gets shot in the neck at the end of the episode.
No.
What the fuck are you doing?
I've seen that clip.
Red Hood runs away like a candy.
Yeah, like a straight bitch.
Candy ass. I'm like, you're Jason Todd,
Okay,
dude.
let's set the stage, all right? So if you're still here, you don't give a fuck about this shit being spoiled for you. The episode starts out, and as the screen is still black, I hear the opening notes to TLC's Waterfall. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then when the screen comes on, Scarecrow is at the sink about to shave his beard off, dancing, mind you, as Waterfalls plays. Get the fuck.
It's not
out.
advised to dance while you
Lip-synced
shave.
it. He was lip syncing it, so it was
Yes.
really playing.
Y'all know
he
how I
actually
said the beard was
chose
dumb?
that fucking
Yeah.
song.
It's not
Y'all,
dumb,
y'all
is
know how I
it?
said the beard was dumb?
Yeah.
He looked better with the beard.
Oh my god! Does he not now look like Corey Matthews' brother from Boy Meets World?
Yes, he does.
All right, thank you. I've been saying it forever.
He's even worse now.
Eric Matthews
Oh my
with a suit that don't fit.
god. Maybe
Yes.
that kind of chub.
Oh.
This dude.
And why is he Hannibal Lecter?
He's not even Hannibal Lecter.
Like,
He's I don't know. He's
The
not
fuck?
Scarecrow.
I don't know what he is.
He's bad. He's a poorly written villain. He's just
I don't know
bad.
what he is. And and then
You know what? Here's what really pisses me off. Here's what really irritates the shit out of me about this. The motherfucking mask is right there. It's right there.
Yes.
And I'm just like, what are you doing, dude?
I should have brought popcorn to this.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He
Put
wanted
it
to
on.
have his moment where he talked to himself.
Oh my
And then he's
god. I
gonna
was
take out the pizza boy.
and
The
it's like
fuck was that?
Dude, it's such a it's
like if you want an accurate analysis of the psychosis of Dr. Jonathan Crane, go listen to the Arkham Sessions by Dr. Andrea Lettamenti. Do not buy into this nonsense that Jeff Johns has tasked this writer's room because
God,
my
yeah.
god, this is just embarrassing.
But yo, guys, Anthony, Phil, you mentioned it already. The fact that Nightwing got shot once in the back, okay, once in the back,
it didn't disarm
turns
the guy.
around and says, "It's okay, citizen. Don't shoot me."
yeah.
Turns around again, doesn't disarm the fucker. No, he doesn't disarm him. Why would Nightwing disarm him? No, I would do that.
Yeah.
The boy goes and shoots him twice. Misses again twice, hits him. He doesn't turn the fuck around.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
Which leads to something that made no sense.
Yep.
Is Nightwing that untrained?
Yeah.
I can't. Please, someone stop me and just say something else about the terrible episode.
Terrible Batman.
Yeah. The little fight scene
Terrible
was
Batman.
little fight scene was kind of decent between him and Red
Did you
Hood,
like
but then
it?
the kid, the kid
Cool.
shot him.
I thought it was very unclimactic. It didn't have any kind of stake to the fight, I felt. I
No,
mean,
not
he's
like the one earlier in the season in the woods. That one was fire. That little fight scene. It was a decent fight scene. But the way and he basically took Jason out, and then the citizens came to his rescue.
Right.
And
And
instead
here's
of
where Superboy would have been perfect for help.
oh yes,
Oh God, what an idea!
I understand why Donna didn't go, because once she saw the situation with the people, she was like, I can't leave you guys. Y'all need my help. When they were like, like the cops are coming every so often because they want to try to take down you people. And so like she stayed for a reason. I got that. That was pretty good. But also homie's room looked just like a certain other room that I saw in a certain Fire 4-hour movie. What's the name? Damn it, what the fuck is his name? How did his name? It just left me. The other Robin.
Tim Drake.
Oh, Tim Drake.
Tim Drake. Tim Drake's little room with all the
Look
computer
like Barry
screens.
Oh, you mean Barry Allen's, bro.
Yeah. Now that you mentioned it, yeah, you're right.
Okay.
It was similar. It was similar. And it's the way he turned the lights on and all that shit. Yeah. I can't anymore. Like I said, and I'll stick to this till my last. I will finish this season. As far as returning to this series, I have no idea if that's ever going to happen. It is just not, unless they announce like some type, like the season ends and they come in and say, "Yo, we clean house with writers and all of that shit, and then we're going to do this."
That's
Like,
not happening.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not. But I will finish this season. It is not.
It's so bad.
It's not. It's so the decisions made. I'm just like, what is happening? That other show that I've been seeing shit from that other show that they got. What's the other one? Batman Family or
Batman Wayne Family Matters, something like that.
Yeah, people are saying that shit looks better than Titans. Like, yo,
Well, the Red Hood costume looks a lot better.
Yeah, the Red Hood costume is fire. It is
The
fire.
Red Hood mini me. That's the problem. He's mini
Dude,
me
he
Red
ran
Hood.
away.
He's not Red Hood.
He ran away at the end. He ran away. Like he was shocked to see that his friend just got shot in the neck, and then
His
he ran
older
away
brother,
and just let
essentially, you know.
Yeah, and just let the fucking the citizens stomp him out.
And
So,
then
like,
what?
I'm sure the next episode is going to start with somebody showing up, probably Starfire, to like blow all those citizens off and pick him up and take him somewhere.
What about Raven and Beast Boy? I mean,
they're going to throw him in a Lazarus pit.
Yeah, they're going to throw him.
But then Raven is just like, something happened to Dick, and then she's like, and then all of a sudden she's screaming, and I'm just like, what is going on? I'm like, is she gonna go like
she did say something
phase over there and save him, or I mean,
probably gonna come pick him up and fucking take him
into the Lazarus.
I love how RJ of all people says Red Hood needs to die.
No, oh my god, he's fucking not Red Hood.
Yeah,
oh, man.
I mean, it's just like, why?
They never know what the hell to do with
Why?
Beast Boy and Raven Road.
Like, here's my thing with this show, and again, I haven't seen the past 2 weeks, but RJ brings it up. Like, you have characters like Raven and Beast Boy. Like, look, I get as a TV show, you have a limited budget, but if you know you have a limited budget, maybe use other characters besides Raven and Beast Boy if you can't actually properly utilize them. Beast Boy just hangs around Wayne Manor like a freaking idiot all the time. It doesn't do anything besides give moral support sometimes. And then every other 4 episodes, he becomes a tiger for a second. That's it.
Yeah, she does. She's like, something's happening to Dick, and then she just starts like,
yeah, she's like, Dick. It's like,
that feels like it's a scene from something totally different.
Nah, she does. She says that at the end. She says that.
Grayson's.
Yeah. And so Titans.
It's just not
we're gonna finish the season, and like I said, Neil is gonna. He's gonna.
No. You have to finish the season.
Finish
no,
you gotta
I
be able to come up here and do the roast and
There's
toast,
one
man.
hell of a toast and roast coming for us.
Yeah.
I guess that's fair.
Yeah, but every season, I've never seen a fucking series get progressively worse as it's gone on. This shit's gotten progressively worse. And it's just
Anthony, that's one of the things I always just said. It's just Red Hood is a character of the magnitude, deserves his own season. Period.
Yes.
Blackfire, as she might not be that big of a popular villain, but she at least deserves her own season to be the man. If she's gonna be the villain.
Well, speaking of that, guys.
Yeah.
What did you think of that, Ant?
What's that?
Her backstory, what happened to her?
Yo, that was
probably the best part of the episode.
Yeah, it was. It was wild.
Yeah, it was
it was. So basically, well, apparently Starfire was born with powers, but they say she wasn't transferred Blackfire's powers over to Starfire as a child because they had already said Starfire was going to be the queen of
right.
Yeah, but then her shit awakens. I guess her shit was like really deep sleeping, whatever. But that was the most interesting part. I didn't have a problem with that shit at all. Like I actually was like, oh,
that felt more like a Titan show.
Like, it also explained why her powers just shot straight to fucking Blackfire in the last episode.
But you're exploring you know what I mean? Characters like those were your main. What was all right? When we started season 1, what was it? It was Dick. It was Dick Grayson,
Dick and Raven.
Raven just coming in, Starfire, and who else?
A little bit of Beast Boy.
Yeah, a little bit of Beast Boy. Perfect. All right, let's build that.
And they had a couple of episodes of Hawk and Dove. Like I remember, when they introduced him, it was called Hawk and Dove.
I didn't mind Hawk and Dove, but then we got to season 2, and then you're like, all right, they're getting a little too big for their britches, but we like the villain.
What?
The villain was making it work. And then the Queen of England. And then we got to fucking the end of that season. We're like,
probably.
And then this season's been a mess. This season's been a mess. I mean, there was no point in introducing Superboy. Superboy is mishandled. I mean, you don't know that he's got fucking kryptonite pixie dust in his fucking hand. I mean, really?
Where the fuck did he get it? Where did that come from?
Safe. He went into when he tried to sneak in. Remember, he said, "I'm gonna go to Wayne Enterprises and try to sneak into Wayne Manor through another way." He gets there, and Jason's just like, "Ha ha! I knew you were gonna try this. I got you." And so after that conversation, he goes to a safe, opens it, and when he opens it up, there's a green glow. And I was like, wait, what are you doing? Like, what is really, because the only green glow I know about in any of this type of this is kryptonite. And I was like, why is he getting that? I was like, wait a minute, why would he? There's only one person on this entire show that could be affected by that. What are you doing? And then he gets there and Superboy's just like, yo, no, I'm going with you. He's like, no.
So
Literally does that.
Neverland.
So
I mean,
stupid.
And then the
Dumb
dog
choice.
comes over. The dog doesn't try to run at him. He's like,
The dog just barks a
"Oh, it's
couple
okay,
times.
boy."
He's like, I hate to have to do this, boy.
Man,
Piss poor. Absolutely just piss poor.
it just hurt. And I'm sorry, like the fight scene itself, like when you're getting to that climactic fight, right, between him and Red Hood in that moment, that's your fight scene. They barely did anything.
It was 45 seconds long.
Right. I mean, he literally did a WWF fucking backdrop on him, and then he's just like,
Yeah, he was. He was on the breath.
I was just like, yo, what is going on?
He said Dick Grayson was pulling his Poison Ivy cosplay.
Pheromone dust designed to heat a man's blood.
There's a worthwhile villain they could have done for season 3.
I just
Ivy.
Yeah. So yeah. Titans. I mean, we're gonna finish, and like I said, Neil's gonna do his thing on this channel where we just get on there and absolutely do whatever. And it is progressively getting worse. At this point in time, there's no way to salvage this season. I don't think. There's nothing you can do unless Ben Affleck walks onto an episode.
Yeah, right.
No way.
No, that would be a more detriment to Ben Affleck than an improvement to the show.
I'm saying there's no way to save this.
If they put Ian Glenn in a bat suit, I'll be genuinely surprised, but I don't even think that'll happen.
No, why wouldn't he come back?
But that would make it worse because
you
you can't believe him in a bat suit. You can't see him in a bat suit at all. You look at him; he looks like some old guy, like a loose suit, like.
Yeah, but once again,
I would rather not talk about that. All right.
Have you seen The Rock? No, please stop. I don't want to hear about The Rock sing.
No,
he gets cringe. That guy. What the fuck happened to Bruce Wayne from the last episode? Wonder Girl saves him. Where's he at? Why didn't he go back to his fucking man?
What'd you put?
You're gonna let. I don't. Corey Matthews,
Just
Eric
check your
Matthews,
comments.
take over.
I did like that he had a voice file on Crane on his computer. I was like, oh, that's something Batman would do.
Yeah, that was kind of fire. Hey, peace out, Fiddle. Peace out, man. While the rest and Roy are going to be next season.
Sure, they will. They said that about this season.
This show just hurts. Please don't introduce Roy Harper. Don't do
your
it.
boy, Miss Marsh.
Oh man.
You think it started off good?
Yeah,
Renaissance? I don't think this season started off good at all. I thought it was fun.
That started off all right.
Yeah, it wasn't. It to me, it wasn't that bad the way it started off, but excuse me, it swiftly went in the wrong direction.
Yeah,
I thought it was too quick to introduce the death of him. Then they go with the fucking inhaler drug. I'm like, wow, they're just gonna fucking shoehorn Red Hood in like he's nothing. They're shoehorning a character in with no development whatsoever. You should have kept him as fucking Jason Todd Robin. That's it.
Yeah.
This all would have hit so much better.
Well, that's like I said, the Red Hood, that's a season at least. That character is that fire where that he deserves.
You tease him for like 4 or 5 episodes, and then you reveal him in the later end of the season. And then that's just writing 101. They're like, no, Red Hood right away. It's like, what the?
No. Just no. You rushed this season. You rushed it. Like this could have been like season 5, something like that, leading to it. And then the actor's older too. Where he actually,
you know what the problem with season 2 was? They had too much narratively going on with too many different characters. This season feels like they've got that same problem, but with the villains this time.
Oh god, the villain arc is like awful.
It's
like, you don't even want
all over the place and jumbled and just poorly written. Like to Neil's point, like why is Jason Todd now kind of an addict and kind of a pans? That doesn't make any sense at all.
I just get it. It just doesn't, nothing connects.
So I'm sure we got 2 more episodes of that left. We'll clap on it. And then Neil will have his extravaganza, which I am very much looking forward to.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna be fire.
Everybody will get advance notice on that too.
Yeah, so I'm gonna bring up something. I don't know how big of Game of Thrones fans you guys are.
I haven't seen any of it.
Yeah,
me neither. I haven't, but it's okay.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. I just want to bring up something real quick. It's a minute long. They might bounce me for this. I don't care, to be quite honest. So I am a big time Game of Thrones fan. I never read the books, but the series is very beloved to me. It's my favorite fucking series of all time. Season 8, you can say what you want about it. Yeah, they had some mishaps or whatever. But at the same time, I like the way they ended it because every character got to do what they wanted as opposed to what they had been made to do the entire series. So they dropped a teaser this week for the prequel series, House of the Dragon, which I am very excited for. So I'm playing that. Appreciate you, Gavin, for dropping it. Damn, he said Game of Thrones is too scary for you, Dawson.
All right.
No, we did. Hold on, we did look at it. We asked where they were at. I don't know if they're ever going to bring them back. I don't know. He says it was the Rose and Jericho comments. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know.
Yeah, nobody knows. Like,
yeah. That's
not
another
really much to say.
Yeah, mishap they might. But anyway, so here's this prequel teaser trailer for Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon.
Just a little bit.
Can y'all hear that?
Gods, kings, fire, and blood. Dreams didn't make us kings. Dragons did.
Symbol.
That's a cool line.
It's one of the Targaryens, right? One of them is going to take the throne.
It's their the history of their family, in other words.
Right.
So
yeah. This is a prequel.
Yeah, prequel to Game of Thrones. Yeah, so I'm excited because I just fucking love Game of Thrones. I don't know, I've read the books and watched the show. Yeah, Gavin, he's one of those. Yeah, he books.
Now I know it's heavy on like shit, like different monsters and like kind of lore when it comes to it. Is it heavy on dragons too?
Yeah,
it is. It is
very heavy on dragons.
As far as the show goes. It's hard to describe it, man. It's just really. It's a really good show. I'd say, like, if you just want to even just get a taste for it, just watch the first season. It starts off slow, but once you get in it,
comparable to Lord of the Rings or somewhat.
It's on that same scale.
On that same scale, right?
And honestly, once the show got extremely popular, they started giving them so much money to like each episode looks like a movie.
Yeah,
The visuals are that type of quality where it's just like, yo, what? I can't believe y'all that's happening. But
every hour matters.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Every hour matters.
Yeah.
Eventually, I'm going to.
Shows about the Targaryen Civil War. He said, "What if it's better than Chestnut?" Yes.
You ever see Rain of Fire?
Rain of Fire, dude! I love that movie.
That's a good movie. A lot of people forget about that.
Dang good movie.
I watched it a couple months ago, man. Actually, yeah, it's Rain of Fire is dope, dude.
It's a good fucking flick.
I always love Matthew McConaughey's like, "You enjoy your little soiree."
Yeah.
Personally, y'all disgust me. Freaking love that movie.
Yeah. All right, everybody. So that's the show, man. As always, I appreciate you guys jumping on, being part of the panel on Friday nights, man. It's always fun. It's always it's a great time, man. I really appreciate you guys, man, for real. Because y'all can, literally choose to do something else with your Friday, but you're like, yo, I'm gonna chill with ACS and talk some shit about titans. But y'all, I appreciate you guys for real. So real quick, let's go around the horn. Neil, tell everybody where they can find you.
All right, everybody.
Here we go.
All right. Here we go. All right, you can find me on YouTube, The Irregular Neil. All right, you can find me on Instagram, Irregular Neil. And everybody, come take a ride home, The Irregular Side. Because why the fuck wouldn't you want to?
Dawson, where can they find
Man,
you?
you just shoving it right in my face as soon as he's done. All right. But yeah, check out my channel, Nerdy in Many Ways. I'm probably gonna be doing a drawing stream tomorrow night. I've been doing a lot of those lately. It's just kind of what I've been wanting to do. And I mean, plus we already talked about news on Anthony's streams here, as well as the Four Nerds. So 4 Nerds on Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Check me out on Twitter, NIMW32. Same on Instagram. I post a lot of my designs. In fact, I just dropped a lot of new poster designs for my Teespring. So go check that out. In fact, Anthony has one of those right behind his head.
Yes,
in his
if you see that right there, that fire ass.
That was an
Oh,
awesome stream to watch that live, sir.
yeah. All right, Phil, where can they find you, man?
Well, that's a good-looking Iceman you got there, ACS. But if y'all want to follow me on Twitter, Vero, and Instagram, it's just @unfiltered. That's right, folks. You can follow me there. And if y'all want to listen to my podcast, you can listen to The Eternal Night. Myself and my co-host Craig just did another episode on the Batman.
It was a great episode, by the way. Great episode, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes, go follow Mr. Spooker McFillywinks.
Oh,
that's right, folks. Spooker McFillywinks wherever you want.
Also, as always, everybody who came and watched, if you guys been watching, you've been here this whole time, I appreciate you for real. Like it's a thing, man, where I see people actually watching and commenting on my videos, and I'm just like, yo, this is absolute fire, dude. I appreciate it. Yes,
that was good. That was good.
Thank you.
Halloween Joker, Phil. You Joker for Halloween, or what do you
I
think?
was thinking the Riddler. I was thinking,
oh, the
maybe a
Riddler.
little bit of the Riddler.
Dude, that's what I'm being.
But I can absolutely do the Joker for you all.
Like, not even kidding. I have like a green suit my mom found at a Goodwill, and I have a cane coming in. I'm gonna have like messy, oily hair, dude.
Oh, nice.
That's gonna be sweet. I like
nice,
it.
Nice.
Love it.
And before we bounce, as always, on ACS Universe, myself and the panel that joins me pretty much every week, these are our thoughts, man. These are things that we come up with, our responses to shows and movies and all of that stuff right there. If you agree with our responses and our ideas and our thoughts, that's cool, man. We appreciate that. If you disagree with our thoughts, that's also fire, dude. Like, you can have your own thoughts and things of that nature, as long as you could do so in a mature fashion. But if you are some of those people that just cannot see past your own thoughts and it's your way or the highway, it's, if you don't like what I like, then fuck you. Then I have a message for you guys. Peace.